30 years ago this fall, a law professor named Anita Hill testified about sexual harassment at Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Now, Because of Anita tells the real story of what happened and what's changed. You'll hear from journalists, witnesses, and activists, and listen in on the first public conversation between Professor Hill and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. That's Because of Anita, a production of Pineapple Street Studios and The Meteor, out now wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
So in the Sun Sentinel, Omar Kelly and Steve Speckis, they did 20 things that we learned from the Dolphins game yesterday. I'm not going to give you all 20, but I'm just curious for you to comment on some of these items. The opening sentence, this isn't anything you need to comment on. The opening sentence is, the stench coming from Miami Gardens isn't the landfill located a couple miles from Hard Rock Stadium.
It's ugly. It's ugly right now.
That pretty much sets the tone.
Mm-hmm.
It has more to do with the performance of the 2021 Miami Dolphins, who lost to an injury-depleted Indianapolis Colts team on Sunday, pushing Miami's record to the 1-3 mark heading into next Sunday's intra-state game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Not going to be easy.
Brian Flores' team began last season 1-3, then rebounded with 5 consecutive wins. Although they write, it's hard to envision that happening this year, considering how poorly the Dolphins are playing in every phase of the game. So one of the points that they point out, they say second straight 1-3 start for Brian Flores' team. Flores' first season as Miami's coach featured an 0-7 start. And then his team rebounded by winning 5 of that season's final 9 games. Last year, Miami started out 1-3 before the team went on a 5-game winning streak before finishing the season with 10 wins. Can Brian Flores pull another rabbit out of his hat? And what is the deal with these sluggish starts? That's a red flag to me.
Oh, yeah. The identity.
Can't start every season slow.
It was Chad O'Shea, they were 0-7. Chan Gailey 1-3. And now with Godsey, Stutesville, Charlie Fry, whoever else bought Mahi on Saturday night and become the offensive coordinator. Like, it's what it is they're coming in there. It seems like they're feeling their way through the offense in real games. Like, figure this out and can't. The whole first week of camp, I can't get out of my mind when they kept telling us we're emphasizing these deep throws. We're emphasizing stretching the field. Tua had like a 4 or 5 interception day, and everybody said we were telling him to throw it up. Go make something happen. Go down the field. I'm like, okay, now we got it. And they're not doing it anymore. They go into a season with no offensive identity, and they figure it out on the run. And you look up, and you're 1-3 and 1-3 again.
Offense continues to sputter. The Dolphins had 69 net yards in the first half. Nice. For some teams, that's an offensive drive. For the Dolphins during the Jacoby Brissett era, that's a half's worth of offense. Miami finished Sunday's loss to the Colts with 203 total yards of offense. The bulk of them, 75, came on Miami's final possession in the fourth quarter with the game long decided.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the biggest problem. If you can't put any yards together, you can't get any points. If you can't get any points, you're always playing from behind. You're always playing from behind. The other team has an advantage.
Jonathan Taylor led the entire Dolphin team in yards until the fourth quarter.
Oh.
He had 110 yards. The Dolphins had 75, and then they got to 80, and they had a little ticker. I watched it online. They had a little ticker where he was beating them in yards. That's just unacceptable. I don't know if that needs to be said, but it's embarrassing. They're sputtering offenses, and then when you're not getting 100 yards and a half, they're just sitting still. You're just sitting still. That's why I brought it up earlier. And I don't know if this is the answer, but I would honestly, if somebody's listening, like I would try to run the ball. I would go to practice today. I would say, guys, we're putting in some heavy sets. Hey, Durham Smythe, Get ready to play some more. Greg Little, we might put you in at tight end.
Talk to me.
We're going to try to go out here and whoop somebody's ass. Because this graceful 4 wide isn't working. We're watching it get 60 yards and a half. Let's go out here and try to beat somebody's mouth in.
But doesn't the lack of a passing threat just deter that? Because you saw yesterday, Indianapolis does not respect the Dolphins' passing game. They just loaded the box. And then that's why the Dolphins can't run. It's probably not that Myles Gaskin is terrible or that Malcolm Brown can't get 4 yards on any given play. It's that the teams don't respect your passing game so they can load the box.
Because you don't ever look downfield. I don't think it's that they don't I don't think, like, if you look at a receiving core with Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, I don't think that a defensive coordinator would say, I don't respect those threats. But when you watch what they're actually doing with the ball, you're telling them don't respect the passing. Like, you're creating that narrative.
But start it and play the other way around. To the whole thought of running passing. Now everybody knows we're an RPO shotgun team. So they know what's coming. Come out and have something different. Like, I'm trying to solve problems for this offense, Solana, that I'm like, listen, this is not going to trick anyone. Watch the game. 2x2 out routes. Y formation strips are going to run the all-go specials. Now, like, it is paint by numbers right now. And the question will be, is it because they can't believe in their offensive line? Do they not believe in Jacoby Brissett and Tua? Why are they? And it goes back to the same damn conversation as Chan Gailey and Chad O'Shea. Are they not good coordinators, or they do not trust this team to run their entire playbook? We don't know that answer, but I want to see something different. That would be my out. We've tried the 5 wide. We went 5 wide empty in the end zone, our own end zone, against the Raiders. I want to see something different. Put a damn fullback in the game. Let me just see if we can go. If you have to get 5 yards a pop, and I know y'all hate this football, but what if the Dolphins could get 120 yards a half by running the ball instead of passing it 40 times?
I got to get Mike Allstott.
Listen, it'd be more successful than the crap I watched yesterday. Now, 2021 Mike Allstott.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right now.
Because the next point in that Sun Sentinel article is late-game heroics from Brissett again. Why doesn't Brissett throw aggressively in any other instances outside of the fourth quarter or garbage time? That's a major theme from the past 3 games. The Dolphins' backup has been forced into action against a defense. The 6-play, 75-yard drive Brissett effortlessly executed late in the fourth quarter, which ended with Devontae Parker catching a 3-yard touchdown pass, was too little too late. What would this offense look like if Miami tried to air it out from the game start? Now, I understand you're saying establish the running game, but we did talk earlier about throw some 50-50 balls to Devontae Parker before you're forced to in the fourth quarter, because it worked.
And with that, to the point about the deep balls, let them stack the box, Solana. Have Devontae out there by himself. Let him stack the box. You get Devontae one-on-one. You audible, and you let it fly. Like, you can do that. You don't have to have 7 receivers on the damn field to throw the ball. All you need is one. All you need is one guy out there. Shoot a guy to the flat. Let Devontae go one-on-one with the corner. Run some little crosser out of some tight end set. Hold the safety in the middle and let Devontae. You can. That's my thing. That's what I'm trying. You can create one-on-ones. And we see Devontae do what he does to cornerbacks in one-on-one like we saw twice yesterday. Why wouldn't you create that situation more for him? Hey, run at this safety. You're not getting the ball, Waddle. Just run real fast straight at this safety. He has to respect you because you're a Blazer. Devontae, go on the sideline. Hey, Jacoby, just throw it up. Throw it to Parker. Let's see what happens. Everything doesn't have to be all intricate, in and out, drop routes, this and that. Let great people make great plays, and Devontae is a 50-50 guy. That's what he does.
This was one of my pet peeves yesterday. I talked about it earlier. Is Malcolm Brown really the Dolphins' lead back? Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed spent all of training camp as the Dolphins' leading backs, sharing the workload. But after the first 2 games of the regular season, it appears the backfield has been handed to Malcolm Brown. This isn't a knock on Brown, who gained 23 yards on 8 carries Sunday, because he's a reliable tailback who can get the job done in all facets of the game. But if anyone in management really envisioned this free agent signee being asked to carry the backfield in 2021 over Gaskin and Ahmed, they would have been laughed at. Something is clearly not translating. I feel that way too. We've seen such good flashes from Myles Gaskin. I know people had texted in when I talked about it originally. If you're going to pass that much and you're asking Myles Gaskin to block, he's going to get run over every time. So there's a reason you have Malcolm Brown in there. I get it. All I know is that, Last season, we didn't like the idea of Gaskin. By the end of the season, we were both like, you know what? This dude's the real deal. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we saw it in preseason again, and then we saw it in the first couple of games. Gone yesterday. Just gone. It was Malcolm Brown's backfield.
And I don't know if y'all disagree with me if I'm wrong. On that second and one, I trust Myles Gaskin to get a yard over Malcolm Brown.
Yes.
And that's weird to me. They put him in they act like he's a Marshawn Lynch or something.
Right.
No.
Leroy Horde.
Yeah. You want 5, I'll give you 3, whatever.
Right.
Like, he's not – and I was waiting to see him in real games. Malcolm Brown isn't a banger like that. That's how they painted him as the Thunder.
This big,
raw.
Yeah, they'll knock down a line. Yeah.
No, I saw him run smack into the who was it? Robert Hunt's back, bounce off, and not get a yard yesterday. So let's put the guy in there that I believe could get that yard, that could wiggle through the small gaps in Myles Gaskin. And Salvin Ahmed, they're not even utilizing him.
No, I think he got one target yesterday, if I remember, or one reception. They write in the Sun Sentinel, can the Dolphins count on Will Fuller? Fuller injured a hand in the first half, didn't return to the game. We know now he has a broken finger. That's 3 injuries for the often injured free agent addition who's played in 2 games this season for various reasons. First was a soft tissue injury that prevented him from participating in all of training camp. Then he missed the season opener because of the PED suspension from last year. He sat out the first game. He was allowed to address a personal matter. First game that he could have played, and then he got injured yesterday. That's a $10 million wide receiver there for one season.
And we talked about it when we picked him up. If he gives you 10 games, you should be happy. That's his MO. He can ball now. He can get I was gonna say he can get vertical down the field, but we're not gonna look at him if he's down there anyway. But yeah, no. If you expected Will Fuller to play 16, 17 games, you were walking through the graveyard.
Then they write in the Sun Sentinel, what do the Miami offensive coordinators do all week? The Dolphins continued on an epic streak of first-half scoring ineptitude on offense. After putting only a field goal onto the scoreboard in the opening 30 minutes against the Colts, Miami's offense had now scored only 48 points over the past 9 games' first halves. That dates back to the Cincinnati Bengals game, December 6, 2020. That computes to 5.3 points per first half. At some point, more than an offensive coordinator needs to hit the road.
You think Adam Gase left his Sudoku books?
They're busy with Sudoku.
In the office, he left a whole bookshelf of Sudoku.
They're busy with Sudoku. You found out the problem.
There's the Gesicki touchdown. The one after Malcolm Brown was stopped. That Gesicki shot behind the line of scrimmage, wide open. Like, they schemed it up well. I've seen them scheme up stuff, but it's never big schemes. It's a little 3-yard scheme ups. Scheme up down the field stuff. Let guys run. And when you have 2 fast guys running right next to you have Waddle and Fuller flying next to each other down the field. You don't know what they're going to do at 12 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards. If they're going to run scissors route, one of them runs a post in a corner. You could do so many other things that I don't see the Dolphins offensive coordinators calling pretty much. So that is a legit criticism. What do y'all do throughout
And this one that Omar and Steve write down in the Sun Sentinel, this one I pointed out earlier. Has Flores lost confidence in Jason Sanders? The Dolphins All-Pro is 13 of 16 in his career from 50 yards away or longer, but he missed a crucial kick from 48 yards out last week in overtime in Vegas. And Flores eschewed having Sanders try a 55-yarder in the first quarter against Indianapolis. That one really struck me as odd to punt when you it's such a luxury when you have a field goal kicker. 13 of 16 from 50 yards plus. It's such a luxury to have a guy that can actually hit that, and to punt in that situation, I was very confused.
That playing the field position, playing the game of time of possession game and all this, not giving the ball on the 50, giving the ball, inside the 20 and all that. You see that side, but this is right after we watched Justin Tucker hit a 66 last week. This is right before I watched Bill Belichick go for a 56 and downpour of rain against the Buccaneers. And your All-Pro can't kick a 55. I think I came around to your side.
And again, there's 20 points that they point out. I'll read you one more. You can read all 20 at sunsentinel.com or on the Sun Sentinel app. But the last one, on deck, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Super Bowl champs are coming off the emotional cauldron game of Tom Brady returning to New England, blah, blah, blah. Already minus Rob Gronkowski, will there be a hangover? Now, how about this? The Dolphins have never won at Raymond James Stadium, and haven't brought home a victory from Tampa in 33 years when the Bucks played at Tampa Stadium, which was the old Sombrero.
Really?
Do you still want to make that bet early on a Monday?
Let's talk it out a little more. We got time.
The Dolphins have not come back from Tampa with a win in 33 years.
But don't the Dolphins have Brady's number?
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travell Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a lot of streaming services out there, each filled with reality TV, comedy, drama, and of course, superheroes. But there's one dedicated entirely to nonfiction TV and documentary films, and that's Curiosity Stream. History, science, nature, we've got it. Space, dinosaurs, big cats, we've got that too. And pretty much anything else you want to explore. Go ahead, add some smart TV to your smart TV with Curiosity Stream. Go to curiositystream.com to sign up and start streaming today.